Fails. It says we're live. Give it a second.
Reset.
There we go. What's going on, everybody?
Okay,
Welcome back. Oh,
I just got a
welcome.
notification on my phone.
This guy right here. Welcome to the first episode of the Southern Show podcast. I'm joined here with this ugly joker, Engine Light Garage, absolute dog water of a guy, but he's pretty cool. He has a different car every week. Go check him out. 3 people watching, and this
Car every
like
week.
yeah, we said it in the intro video. This podcast is it's nothing serious. We just hanging out. We talk either way. We talk regardless. So figured we might as well just make a podcast out of it because why not? You know, this guy's got
And you can put
prosthetic
the good parts
finger.
you want and put them over somewhere else.
Yeah, I guess.
Prosthetic
Sure.
finger.
Yeah, prosthetic finger, bro.
It
But
still
yeah,
works.
yeah. All right. So what we've decided to do is, like I said, I've been live streaming on my main channel. Engine Light Garage has been a live stream on his channel every now and then. We'll still be doing that. We'll still have our own live streams, and more than likely, we'll still be a part of each other's live streams and some, thing. That's not going to change. But we do a lot of talk shows, and we hang out a pretty good bit just talking. So I figured, why not just do that, but on a podcast? Because everybody else has a podcast, so why can't we have a podcast?
Exactly.
We deserve a podcast too. If they deserve a podcast, we deserve one too. So we're just, like I said, going to be hanging out. We've got some pretty good plans coming up in September. I will say that. Don't know how many episodes we'll have out by then, but I feel like that'll be like a special, and that'll be like a few days worth thing. That's not just going to be like one thing. But hopefully, we got to have 50 subscribers before we can do that. So we got to have 50 subscribers, at least 50
Yep.
subs
Definitely.
before we do that. And again, we're using the StreamYard platform. That's subject to change. Upload times are, well, the times we do the podcast are subject to change because we're still working out details. That's all, the first couple episodes, it's all subject to change. So just bear that in mind that it's all, we're doing it on what, a Wednesday today, but next week it might be on a Thursday. It might be, we're just kind of figure stuff out. What's a
Yep.
better day for both of us to do it. So yeah, with that being said, make sure that you go and you enter in the 1,000 subscriber giveaway on my main channel. A little bit of plug for there. I'm giving away something at 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you go over there and watch my latest short, and that's how you enter. It'll tell you. It explains it pretty good how to enter. It's pretty simple. Um, and if you're listening on Spotify, you can catch this show live whenever we go live. I don't know the correct dates right now, but you can catch it live on YouTube, where you can
This is
watch
true.
us and everything like that. So, but if you're not, you can watch it on Spotify. And I'm working at getting it on other apps as well, such as YouTube podcasts, which I think was formerly Google Play Podcast, uh, and a couple other ones. It's just there's a couple other ones that I want to work with, but currently it's on Spotify right now. So, but I found a good topic for us to talk about today. I think that's a really good topic because it's the first podcast that we've done. So I figured what better way, and I'll let Engine Like Raj. He'll start on this topic because he's got a lot to talk about with this topic, and he'll take a 30 minute. He'll take a whole show to talk about his stuff. But the kind of the main I kind of want to do like a one big question, and that'll be the topic for the stream. And of course, like I was telling Engine Like, we probably will get off topic and we'll probably start talking about something completely different. 15 minutes in, that's okay. But we got one main topic of each episode, and today's topic being is it's the first podcast episode. What better way to start it off with our first vehicles? So, things like Raj, I'll ask you to kind of what were some? I know it's not just one. What were some of your first vehicles that you had? Like what are some of your most memorable first vehicles?
Well, first vehicle would be a 1971 F100 Custom. I actually picked that up for $500.
Oh shoot!
It got it sat in somebody's backyard. The guy had it. It was his daddy's. He bought it brand new from the showroom floor. He bought two of them. He bought one to use for the farm and one to use every day, and this was his everyday one. I think the truck had like right at, I can remember, like 50 or 60,000 miles on it original,
Uh,
because it was just that was just his daily truck. Most of the time he drove his work truck.
yeah.
But it was two tone red and white, of course, long wheelbase, and the interior, the headliner. I remember the headliner was like a, not leather, but like a, that kind of material, pleather or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just ice white.
Oh
The
God.
dashboard was baby blue. Like the interior was perfect.
Yeah.
Outside was
Sure.
kind of rusted up, but the inside interior was like a time capsule. It was perfect. I remember I got that thing $500. Guy said I needed a trailer. I told him, I was like, well, I got to go because I got to go get a 5 gallon gas tank and I'll be back. He's like, well, you're going to need a trailer. I was like, all right. I went and I remember I got a 5 gallon jug of gas, some gas line from AutoZone, and got some carb cleaner and a little bit of sandpaper from AutoZone. I just snacked it off one of their little strips they had back there.
Golly.
and went back over there, cleaned the points up a little bit, put that fuel tank in the back of there, just ran the hose straight through the nozzle of it, just stuck it in there with a bungee cord, and that dude fired right up. It was great. I
Heck
love that
yeah.
truck.
Yeah, I like the old Fords. They're really cool trucks. I have, I mean, obviously you guys, I had my '67 Ford, bump side Ford F-250, and it's a cool looking truck. You can't beat that styling of those old Ford trucks. No matter what, I don't care what you like. You might like a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge, but an old like mid '70s or late '60s, mid '70s, even late '70s Ford pickups are just really like legendary for the style, and they never made anything like that. They were unique in their own way. They were just something
Definitely.
that was different. They kind of still the same way. Like one thing Ford, I will say Ford is, I mean, they're even in modern days, there was never a company that was doing anything like what Ford did with their trucks. It was they always would do something different. Where like there were times where I'm not saying that a Dodge looked just like a Chevy, but there were times where the Dodge pickups kind of had the boxy cues that a Chevrolet had, and vice versa. And even modern days, I mean, there's kind of the cues of they kind of big fat cars, whereas Ford's doing something
Hmm.
totally different. It's they're even today it's not the same way that they're doing it different, obviously, but they're doing something different that makes them apart from everybody else. And I've always that's you can like Ford, you can like Chevrolet, you can like Dodge. That's one thing that I've always will give credit to Ford for, no matter what I like, which I just haven't liked Fords, but um, the styling cues, and it's been a lot with a lot of their cars. There were the Mustang even. I mean, there's never been anything that looked like a
Exactly.
Mustang. It's you might not like a Mustang. Mustang might not be your favorite car in the world. It's not my favorite car in the world, but it's a cool car. And but when you see a Mustang, it's a Mustang. You're like that's a Mustang. You know what it is, even if it's a six cylinder, or if it's a Shelby GT 500. It's a Mustang. It's what it is. And so,
That's the one car you won't get mistaken between it being a Dodge or a Chevy as the Ford Mustang
yep,
of any model.
and yep, I
Like
know a lot of
you
the
get
times,
Novas and what is it, Dodge Darts and stuff like that. They get
all
mistaken
the
for
time,
different cars all the time.
all the
The
time.
Ford Mustang, no matter what year it is, everybody's like, "That's a Mustang."
Because I'll tell you, if you look at like '67, well, especially like I'm gonna say this, I'll say '68, '69, '70. If you look at a Galaxy 500, a Torino, and a Fairlane, it's the same car. They look exact Fords, and these are Ford. They look the exact same,
Yep.
the same bodies. It's really just a trim package at this point. Now,
Yeah.
earlier, a little bit earlier on, like the mid '60s, '67, '66, and back, they were different cars. The Galaxy and the Fairlane kind of looked a little similar. They were different, but the Torino, it was its own car. And
All right.
even towards like the later '70s, the Trino was still, like 70, 71. Trino was its own kind of car, but the Galaxy and the Fairlane, they were real neck and neck, and it's easy to get them mixed up with each other because you don't know. A lot of people don't know.
Yep.
I still get them mixed up every now and then. I have to do a double take on it to make sure. But the Mustang is one
The
car.
Mustang's out there.
Yeah,
It is the Mustang. whether
hundred
it be
percent
from the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, the 2000s. It's a Mustang. Everybody knows what a Mustang is.
for sure. 100%. 100%.
Mm.
I think talking about like getting back on the subject of like first cars, I had when I was really wasn't like first car, but it was kind of first car because it was the first one that I drove. But I've had a lot of like first cars. My first car was actually a truck. It was not a. It was a Ford, but it wasn't a older Ford. It was a. For me, it was a. Well, it wasn't. It was. It's almost as old as I am. It was a 2000 model. It was an F-150. It was a F-150, but this
It
truck
just
was.
it cracks me up because you're like, it wasn't that old, but it's as old as I am. It was a 2000.
This thing was. It was as bare bones as you can get it for a 2000 model truck. I mean, it was rubber floor mats, and I'm not talking about like WeatherTech. I'm talking about the whole floor was rubberized in the bottom of it. Had a cloth bench seat. Had one tear in the seat. It had no power windows. Had hand crank windows. It had a cassette player in the tape deck. Didn't even have a
Right.
CD or nothing. Couldn't even see the screen. You just had to kind of guess what station you were listening to because I would know. And what I would do is I'd find a song like I listen to like Rock 1027 a lot in the morning and 98.1 the Max. So what I would do was I would find music and I knew that those stations were clear. There was only a few
Okay.
where I lived, there was only a couple stations that would come in clear. And those were two of the stations that would always come in clear. And I would just listen to it and I'd find sit there and just listen for a song that was playing a channel that was playing rock music. And I'm like, okay, it's playing rock music. It's pretty clear. And I'd wait for the commercial, and they'd be like 98.1 the Max, and I'd go ahead and save it to my radio button. So I'd press it and it would get to, but I couldn't never see what station I was listening to. But a cassette player, it was a 5 speed manual. It was a 6 cylinder truck. But the one thing that made that truck really cool was it was 4 wheel drive and had a big winch on the front of it. I had mud grips on it, had a little bit of a lift kit on it, and had a big like 9,700 pound winch on the front of it, and it was a pulling truck. It was slow. It would do like I think 80. Like I mean, like it was slow. I've never like my red truck would walk off on that truck. That truck was slow, but it was fun. You couldn't. It wouldn't get stuck. That's one thing it had. I mean, first gear full low, it wasn't getting stuck. But going down the highway, it was like struggling to do highway speeds. It was a slow. It'd take all day to get up there
That's
to
one
speed.
thing that
But it was.
I can say though. Between your 4 wheel drives, I definitely prefer a 90 to early 2000 uh, Fords,
Yeah.
just because those transfer cases were just
Mm-hmm.
they're beasts.
Yep.
Like they'll do anything. I've
100%.
gotten one stuck. I will say they're hard to get stuck because their pulling power and everything with the 4 wheel drive transfer case is it's
Mm-hmm.
mint. But I have got them stuck, but it's only because I've high centered them. Tires weren't big enough.
Jesus.
But like I've pulled trees bigger than I can put my arms around, just up through the yard, up through ditches. Like them things are good puller trucks.
Oh yeah, 100%. They really are. Like actually, I mean, they really are. It's that truck was a good truck, and I still like we still have it. We keep it over where we hunt now. It's got a big like spray tank in the back. We spray. We take it off down the hill side of a hill, spraying kudzu and stuff to kill that off now. But I remember it's still got the old sticker, the fire department sticker that I had when I was in high school and all that stuff. It's still got all that on it, and it's like I get in that truck. I'm like, ah, dang man, I used to drive this because I got my truck's a 12 now. My daily driver's a 12. It's 50
Yeah,
6 speed. It's a nice. It's a quick truck. I mean, it's not the fast. It's not gonna be like it'll be a Hellcat or anything. But it's compared to what I was driving. This truck's pretty fast. It's a really fast truck compared to what I was driving, and it
right.
handles nice. It's smooth riding for what it is. It's like darn. And when I get back in that truck, I'm like, dude, this thing was like I'll take it down the road and I'll just hit the gas and it's just like punching. It's just like whoa. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what? I was driving this, like, and I was like, but back then, I thought that thing was the fastest thing in the world. You couldn't tell me nothing in that truck. It sure wasn't getting stuck. I never once got that truck stuck. Never.
Oh, like I said, I mean them transfer cases they put in early 2000s and 90s. I mean
Yep.
they're beasts.
Yep. especially if it was had that 5 speed with it. Wasn't an
Mm-hmm.
automatic; it was a 5 speed. Put the truck on first. The only thing that would have made that truck tougher is if it had a. Now the 4.2 is a good engine. I'm gonna tell you, the 4.2 is a strong
Yeah.
engine for like it's reliable. If it had a 4.6 in it, it would have been a you couldn't have told that truck nothing. If it was a 4.6 spec'd out the exact same way that it was, just with a V8 in it, with the same 5 speed and everything, shoot, that truck would have been so darn good. But I mean, it was still a good truck. I love that truck, and I put a lot of miles on that truck. I think it had like 180,000 when I started driving it. When I got done, it was like 230 when I got done with it.
That's baby mileage compared to my stuff.
Yeah. Now my
The
red truck,
Ranger's up over 260.
well, the red truck's it's sort of kind of catching up with you. It's at 250, which I don't drive my truck. I don't drive the red truck a lot. Especially because the front end's jacked up on it right now. But you know, we'll get that. We'll talk about that in another episode of the podcast. But anyways, I kind of had like these weren't other like the first kind of cars that I drove was we had a what I learned to drive stick shift on. Believe it or not, was a I perfected it the driving with the red truck, my '96 Ford. Well, my granddad had it because he would let me
Yeah.
drive it. But what I started driving stick shift on, what I kind of learned how to go with was a '64 Kaiser Jeep 3 speed, and this thing was it. The synchros were shot in it. It had no brakes. It had a clapped out 4 cylinder gasser engine in it. I mean, it was like it was rusted. It had holes in the floor, but
Bucking
it
like
had
crazy every time you shifted.
dude, it didn't have a lift kit on it, but we had like these big 35-inch mud grips on this joke on these little 15-inch tires. These things were like massive. Every time you turn the wheel, the darn fenders would start popping up and down because the knobs on the tires would start smacking the fender, and something would go. You couldn't take it to a ditch. I mean, you had if you hit a ditch with it, you had to go straight through the ditch. You couldn't hit it at an angle because if you hit it at an angle, the wheels would lock up. We actually got stuck one time because the wheels locked up onto the fender. It bent the front end so much on it that it locked the wheels up, and had to get a chain and pull it out. But luckily, it had a winch on it too. It had a winch on it and a big iron welded like steel bumper on the front of it, welded to the frame. It wasn't going nowhere. We traded a motorcycle for this thing. It was a nice Jeep. I missed that Jeep. It was like knowing what I know about cars now.
Nice.
I guarantee you I could have fixed that thing. I had it running in like a day. Like I mean, it ran. It just the carburetor was messed up on it. Kept flooding out. And I was like, you put a new carburetor on it, or fix. I could probably fix an old one that was sitting on it. You know what I mean? Like I guarantee I could have it fixed now, but it's
Oh,
gone
for sure.
because I don't. It kind of left. I didn't have nothing to do with that, but that's a different story. But um, then there was the red truck. The first project truck I got was my red truck. That was my red truck. My granddad had that truck, and he got down in his health, and the truck messed up. It wouldn't run right. Had a bad misfire in it. I know, it was like it would still do like you could
Yeah.
still take it down the road and do like highway speeds, but it would just buck and junk and knock your teeth out driving down the road. It was god awful. And it wouldn't be like it wasn't front end stuff. Like, but see, what was weird about it was when if you were at idle, if you were sitting at a stop sign or sitting in a parking lot, you could rev that thing all day long and it would not miss. It would run so smooth. But if you put it in gear and went to
Yeah.
drive down the road, it would get to missing. And I was like, I could never figure it because at the time I didn't know nothing about cars. Um, Ended up getting the truck and just started just replacing stuff. And I had people like, "What you gonna do with that truck? You ain't gonna fix that truck up." And I was like, "I'm fixing this truck up." And this thing had pine sap all over. I wish I had a picture. Like I hate myself because I didn't have a picture of what this truck looked like. It was sitting up under a pine tree,
Yeah.
and this thing had pine sap all over it. It was like almost black because of all the pine sap on it. And I finally got it fixed and running, and I took it down the road. And the first time I ever took it down the road, it didn't miss because I would do something on it and take it down the road, and that thing would still miss. It would run. What was weird about it too was if it was cold, like if you just crank it up, it wouldn't miss. You could drive it probably 15, 20 miles, well, not that far. You could probably drive about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, when it got up to operating temperature, is when it would start to miss, and that was what was so confusing. I was like, "What the frick is?" I was like, "What is going on with this thing?" Because it wouldn't, and if you let it cool off, it wouldn't do it. It would just sit there and just it would run just fine for like 20 minutes and then go back to missing. But what it was ended up replacing the whole ignition system, and come to find out, what it was one plug wire that the boot had come off on, and the little metal piece that actually clips that's
Just
inside that
on the
clips onto
plug.
the plug. Come on, it was messed up. Of course, you know, me being the person that I was back then, that I had replaced everything but the plug wires. So I replaced
Yeah.
plug wires, fixed it. Then I took it down the road and put a bunch of gas, filled it up with gas, and took it to the car wash and washed it up. And it took 2 years to get that truck to looking like it does right now, with the wax, with the it's clean. I mean, it's got paint fade, but to get that truck looking like it does right now, it took me to, because dude, I actually had to get, like, I almost had to, I pretty much wet sand to get all of that pine, because it sit on it for so long it had gotten into the paint. I had to pretty much wet sand the darn paint to
Damn.
get the freaking pine sap out, because you would wash it and it would look clean. You throw some
Yeah.
wax on it, it would look clean, but as soon as it would dry and you take it to a car show, I remember I pulled up to a car show. I'd spent all day cleaning this truck. First car show I ever went to, and I backed in there and I got out the truck and I looked, and the whole hood was just black, and I was like, "Whoa, dude!" I was like, "Nah." I about wanted to leave. I literally about left, but look, the hood open, you couldn't really see it because where the truck was parked, I had the hood open. Um, but now it's like just paint fade now, probably because I wet sanded it a little bit too much. It's probably why the hood's fade. I mean, the paint, I mean, you know this. You've had these old Fords like I had. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
you know, the paint's not the best on them, but they're pretty colors. Ford had some pretty colors in the '90s. It just, the paint itself was not the best quality paint, and especially on the roof and the
Exactly.
hood of the trucks, they don't last long. And mine, for it to have just have it on the hood of the roof and just now starting to get it on the hood at 250,000 miles, 260,000, it's pretty good considering. And the
I
rest of the truck looks great.
I think the only reason your hood is not just completely gone like all the ones I've always had
Mm,
is because you have the straight six.
yeah.
Because every one of them that I've had have been the 351 Windsor, and
Hmm.
like there's one or two of them I had absolutely no paint, and then the last one I had, it was pretty bad. That big brown one I had, it was actually
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
I don't
every
know.
one of them I've ever had just been gone. Like my one of my Rangers that I had, it was just 2.3, but
Hmm.
the whole hood was rust covered. Like all the paint's been burned off it.
I know plan for that truck is to get it painted. Like, it's not going to happen this year, but it's not even going to take that much paint. I just want to do the roof, and because the rest of the truck, I don't really, the bed, I don't care about painting. It's getting bed liner. I know people hate that. They're like, paint the. I'm like, but if I haul something, if I put something in it, like I plan to do a bed cover on it. I don't want
Right.
my. I just I just want to bed line it. Like, just let me do what I want to do with the truck. And
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your truck,
yeah,
and however you want it is how it's going to be.
and I want to do. I want to. There's pieces on the top that are, like, it's like silicone. That little,
Yeah.
the rain, little cover that's like, it's a little lip that's on the top of the roof on both sides of the side. I don't know what you
Hmm.
call it, but it's like a little lip. They put
Yeah, it's like a
silicone
little
on it.
rain gutter.
Yeah, they put silicone on it, but and they paint over it, but the silicone's like dry. I was gonna take it, just chip it off, and just set it and paint over it. Do the roof and the hood silicone, or not do the roof and the hood silicone. Do the roof and the hood, paint it and clear coat it to have it to make it look good again. Because if I did that, man, that truck would be a sharp looking truck. It is a sharp
Yeah.
looking truck. I mean, you get out in some nice sun after it's been waxed and polished and everything. It's a really nice, beautiful looking truck. But it takes away from you look, because I know that I don't. I look at the roof. I'm like, oh, it's got awful. But and
But
then I have some
the
people
biggest
like
thing you have to
patina.
get over though is anytime you have a vehicle and it's a project vehicle of your own,
Hmm.
you have to not look at all your blemishes because it's something that you plan on fixing or that you want to fix.
Yeah,
You can't just you can't keep judging your own vehicle. You keep judging your own vehicle, then it's never going to be where you want it, and you're never going to
yeah,
want to take it anywhere.
yeah, for sure. I kind of,
Like, I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
because like
old. It's
me,
got scars. You can tell
yeah.
it's always it's been a work truck. It's not perfect.
Oh no, no. Like I don't. My granddad when he got that truck, he that's what he used it for, his work truck. So that mess was the main purpose because he needed a truck. So he drove
Yeah,
it to work, took it and put brush. I did it too. I mean, for the longest time. Up until I realized, the last couple of years, I was like, well, shoot, they only made 2,000 of these trucks in '96 that were this truck, and that's not including. That's just the paint job. They only made 2,000 of them in that red. That's not including all of them that were 5-speed, 306-cylinder trucks with cruise control, which I think all
yeah,
80 Bowers had cruise control, but I could be mistaken about that. But like the wood trim in the interior is a 1 year only thing. It's like $300-$400 for just the wood trim pieces. To get it like the Eddie
yeah.
Bauer wood trim, that's a 1 year only, '96. And mine, the
Yeah,
only
they're not
good
cheap.
one is the one that's on the dashboard. And I'm like,
But is it
dang.
flapping over there by the glove box?
No, actually not. It's really not.
It ain't peeled up over there.
Mm-mm, no. The
So
only
every one
as
of them
far
I
as the
have over there by
dash,
the glove box on the passenger side, like that far up, much of it, like 6, 4 inches of it, is
mm,
always detached from it.
this one's not. But the
It
only
makes that
I will tell you
vibration.
this: the dashboard is not perfect. The dash pad has a crack in it that my granddad tried to paint over and he tried to fix, but it just made it worse. Now it's a different piece. Like it dried a different color. It came on when it was on wet. It was identical. When it dried, it kind of
Yeah,
dried into a pinkish color instead of a tan. So but the crack is still there. And then the gauge cluster, this was like this before um we bought the truck, and I didn't know this up until like years later that it's a 4-wheel drive gauge cluster out of a Bronco. The
no
panel,
shoot.
it's
Yeah,
got all the lights on it. None of the lights work, and I was like, well, I got to looking at the lights, and they were dusty, and I cleaned them off, and it said 4x4 in low range, and I'm like, this thing's not 4-wheel drive. I was up under the truck looking for the front differential and everything. I was like, well, this truck's not 4-wheel drive. I was like, why the frick? And come to find out, the first one broke because it's just cheap plastic, and the one that's on it now is broke. So I want to find a two
yeah.
wheel drive one and just put it back on there. But the only thing is, I got my horn, and then I got to do all that. I'm just kind of waiting for a reason, like maybe the because the tank switches when they go out, you got to cut them out.
Yep.
So I'm kind of waiting, knock on wood, it doesn't happen for a while, but I'm kind of waiting for it to go out again. That way, when I do another one, I can just put another dash in it. Just all I have to do is Dremel out a hole for my horn switch that I have
I
on the
just
other
block it.
one. This guy,
Just block the whole dash. It'll cover up all the cracks too.
that's true.
And it like it's a mess doing it. Like it'll make a mess, but it comes out good if you
Then
get
it's still four wheel drive.
some good block. But I would block it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'll come out looking like some Alcantara
Okay, this
with a
guy.
good block job.
I will tell you, I got some seats for that truck. The seat covers. The first one looks great. It's a little tight. Actually, I think it's too small. It's like a little bit too, like right below the threshold of being too small. Like it's right there at it.
Yeah.
The second one, I did the driver's side first, and passenger side. The passenger side is way too big. It's loose, dude. I was like, how? It doesn't make sense because they're the same seat cover. They're
Well,
the
maybe your
same.
passenger seat's smaller than your driver's seat.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I don't ever ride over
what's,
there, so I
what's
wouldn't
the
know.
odds of that?
Nobody ever sits over there, so I don't know. But I was sitting there, I was like, now of course, when the sun hits it, it might dry, shrink up a little bit. That's the kind of the
Yeah.
idea, I hope. But I needed some seat covers but eventually I want to get some other seats for that truck.
Right.
Um, because if you get one in a Bronco, you can actually find if you get the seats out of a Bronco, they'll actually have Eddie Bauer on the headrest. Mine
Hmm.
doesn't have that. The F-150's never had that, but if you get a Bronco one, like an early '90s Bronco, they will
Yeah.
have Eddie Bauer on the headrest of them. And I'd like some of those seats, but Eddie Bauer stuff is expensive, and that's kind of why I hate that the truck was used as a work truck. But hey, it's a truck, and I'm gonna keep driving it. I'll I'd rather mess that up. You know what I mean? It's, to me, it's just a truck. I'm never selling it, so it has no monetary value to me because I'm never
Yep.
selling it. So you know what I mean? Like it'll always motor blows up. I'll put another. I'll take the time and money and put another motor in it. Transmission goes out. I'll take do a transmission, rear end. I'll keep putting stuff in it. It'll be a money pit, but it's already a money pit, and I don't plan on getting rid of it. So the same thing with all my trucks. Like my '67, I've came to the conclusion it's a 2 wheel drive long wheelbase, and I've kind of came to the conclusion that that truck's going to be a 4 wheel drive truck. I feel like
You had too many ideas on that truck.
well, I kind of came to
Pick
the
one with
conclusion
an
that
idea and just leave it.
well, see, a 2 wheel drive F-250 is nice, right? It's a cool, it's still a bump side Ford. It's a cool truck, but I have been just so heavenly seeing a lot of F-250 high boys on my
Yeah.
Instagram feed lately, and that has just inspired me to, you know, make. It's not going to be an original high boy, but it'll be a high boy essentially with 4 wheel drive and a 460 because I'm putting a 460 in it. So
Right.
460 powered. I just got the only problem is I got to find a transmission. I need a transmission. I need a 4 speed transmission 4 wheel drive that I can bolt up to a 70s 460.
Definitely.
That's my biggest issue right now because I'd like a 5 speed, but the thing with that engine is that it's it's different balanced. It has a different balance to it,
Hmm.
and so therefore it uses a different bell housing,
Yep.
and so therefore you cannot put say I can't go find a ZF5 out of a '94 F-250 that was bolted up to a 460 and it's a 5 speed and put it into that truck because it's not going to work. Um,
Yep.
that's one thing I've had the issue with. Now I know for a fact I can put a C6 right up to it, but I don't want automatic. I want to keep it a manual. I really want to have that truck as a manual because a manual 4 wheel drive truck, especially a Ford F-250, that's a truck that everybody's going to like. Everybody loves a
The
three
best
quarter
thing to
ton
do
4 wheel
is
drive
to
truck.
try to find the transmission and transfer case together that you need.
Yeah, but that's the thing is I don't know. Like, okay, I could do. It's got like what I think 410, 411 gears in the back. It's geared so low. Big Dana 6 rear axle in it. It's not going fast. But the problem is, I can kind of get around in a way. I can get around it a little bit if I wanted to just make it a show truck and not necessarily take it straight through a mud hole or try to pull with it. But you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
decent stuff, like not trying to pull a house down. I could put a 4 speed in it and then just find like some highway gears and put in the back of it, kind of help it a little bit so I could do at least 60 down the highway. You know what I mean? Like decent highway
Right.
speeds, and not have to do 40 because that thing at 60, I guarantee you that thing would just be screaming with that 304 speed, granny 4 speed right that's in it right now.
For sure.
Dude, it's like 55 is about all it's got. I guarantee you right now the way it's so low. But I think because I want to restore that truck. That truck was always. I feel like that truck's worth restoring. Um, I've had a lot of people say do patina, but at the same time, I'm like, it's. I feel like it needs to be restored. I feel it needs a paint job. It needs to look good. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like a nice fresh coat of paint with all the body work fixed on it, with a bed fixed on it, with cab lights and a CB whip antenna on the roof of it. Maybe I can go find a good push bar, one of those old school push bars they used to put on there.
Yeah.
Put a push bar on it too. Lift it
And
up
just
a little
dress
bit
it up.
before. Dude, that would be a really really cool looking truck. Like really
I'll,
cool.
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the
I
bathroom.
really, he's got to go to the bathroom, everybody. But yeah, so I think that's one thing that we're working on as far as that truck. Of course, the '67, the '96 will get. It's it's going to get its stuff first because it's like on my list of stuff to get first. But the '67's its time is coming as far as like everything. It's getting there. So it's getting there. So, but I don't know. I feel like our 51 Ford is going to get some stuff done to it. I kind of want to paint it now. I don't know why. I've kind of gotten to the point I want to paint stuff, but I don't know if it's, you know what I mean. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to do a deep dive on that truck and kind of figure out what it needs other than the obvious. I'm talking about body panels and stuff like that. If stuff is like just falling off of it as we're pulling it out of the place it's parked, and then it's going to need a lot more than I'm thinking. But that is what it is. So, but anyways, I will tell you that, um, like I said, me and Engine Like Garage, as far as like other things, we've got something planned for the No Name Nationals this year, and you're going to see more episodes as we go moving forward with this. It's not going to be just the only thing that we've got going on. It's not. But hey, you'll check it out. We'll check it out. It's gonna be fun. We'll hang out with it for sure. Um, I'm down to see what we get done with it. Down to run the truck too. We're close to getting 500 subs. Like we really are super close to getting 500 subs. And as a matter of fact, I can check this real quick because we're actually on the thing. I want to see how many subs that we have here. Of course, if you're watching on Spotify, you won't be able to see anything. If you're watching on this, you'll just be able to see my face. We got Engines Like Garage. We're 456 subscribers right now on the YouTube. We have what? How many is that? What, 44?
Yeah.
40? Is that 44 left to go?
Oh, 46. Yeah.
40, 46, 44, somewhere around there. So we're getting close. Like it's really coming down to the wire of do that, and believe it or not, you guys won't know because you'll probably be watching this after the fact or on Spotify. But probably after this, I'll be hopping on a live stream real quick and doing a quick live stream for about an hour on my main channel just because try to get some subs real quick because we're so close to getting it. Like we're right there. And
Exactly.
it is still July. I keep, and I'm not saying that we've got a lot of time. You know what I mean? But we still have a few months. It's something that's not like happening
We
tomorrow.
we have what is it like? Not even 8 Saturdays.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Which
say it
is not
that way,
much.
we ain't got no time at all.
If you say it that way, no, it's not. But if you think of it like this, it's still July. So you still got what, July, August, September. You got a month, a full month of August at least.
Yeah,
So
basically a whole month.
yeah, so you got a month, and I've gotten 100 subscribers in 2 weeks. I feel like but the problem is talking about YouTube. I know, and this is us getting off topic again. Um, the YouTube stuff, dude, it slowed down so fast. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what happened. I mean, I would do a live stream, and I was getting like
Mhm.
60 people watching. And then I could stream for an hour and get like 60 watch hours. I did this other live stream. It got 1.4 thousand views, but it only got 8 watch hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not great. That's not too great.
I haven't
But
done a live since my 7 hour.
yeah, they I, I don't know what I did wrong. I genuinely don't know what I did wrong. I've been using the same. I'm thinking about just changing my title up instead of Road to 500. I'm thinking about changing it up, maybe changing the tags up a little bit. I think maybe it's just the algorithm kind of picked it up and then dropped it off because I mean,
Mhm.
10 people's good. I like having 10 people watch my stream, but 10 people compared to 80,
Right.
that's a lot. That's a big drop and something happened because I streamed and it wasn't like just one stream was bad. When I did that stream, it was like on a Monday and I was sitting like, well, it's just probably a Monday. Well, then I did it on a Tuesday, same thing. Well, then I did it on a Saturday, pretty much the same thing. And I was like, something's not right, because I was doing streams on Saturday at the same exact time, and they were just after 3 minutes, I had like 50 people watching my stream. You
Yeah.
know, don't have that anymore, and I don't know what I did. It's probably nothing I did. It's probably YouTube. Like I said, the algorithm that picked me up and threw me off.
The
Um,
algorithm jumps around so much.
yep, yep. I think it's also because like what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Like I think, well, what's going on the YouTube world? So
Yeah,
you have
and the
something
main
going
thing they're
on.
pushing now is political stuff.
Yeah,
Like YouTube is shoving it down. Like, because I don't search for none of that on my YouTube channel.
yep.
Just because, like, I have a separate YouTube channel that I go and I search for different things on random stuff. So I
Mm,
try to keep my main content channel, the one that I'm on now,
mm,
my Engine Like Garage. I try to keep that for just looking up like car content and stuff like that, people that'll watch
yep.
because it keeps my algorithm set like that. But here lately, like they're not even popping up anymore. Like it's all political.
Yeah,
I'll have to
mine's about the same
scroll
one.
down like 2 pages before I find somebody to follow that they uploaded a video like 2 days ago that it's just now showing me.
Mine's either political stuff, and I'll say it. I watch Pole Barn Garage like faithfully, and because I'll
Yeah.
catch his videos like when like 10 minutes after he posted them, you know, because that's how my algorithm. If I just go back to YouTube Home, it'll be right there. It always pops up like right after he uploads. The last
I
two
watch them
uploads that
before
he's
you
done, okay. Well,
just because
the
'cause I'm
last
part of the membership.
well, you know what they say, you need to join my membership. You know what I mean? I'm just playing. Anyways,
I think the
um,
membership's just like $1 a month.
that's what I'm gonna make mine is $1. I'm not gonna do a $5 thing. I mean, I think I might make like a Patreon if you want to donate like $5, you can or something. But I'm just gonna do like $1 because
Well,
I'm
talking
not
about
gonna
like
pay.
that, like I thought about doing what Busted Radio does.
Hmm.
I want to say it's like 550 or something like that to join Busted Radios.
Hmm.
And as soon as you join, he'll send a sticker pack and a T-shirt to you for being a member.
Hmm. There.
So I thought about doing that. Be like, I'll send you one of our T-shirts and some
I'll be
stickers
darned if somebody
because
who's
I can get them for so cheap.
I'll be darned if somebody get the shirt before I get that shirt that I've been waiting on for goddamn 6 months, dude. I'm gonna have a we're gonna have a hissy fit around here. I'll be
Your
darned.
shirt is in the closet over here still.
Man's gonna give somebody my shirt because they joined his membership now. I was thinking about doing
But
like a
no, that's what
dollar.
I thought about doing. Just because since I make my own merch,
Yeah.
my my what do you call it? I can't think of the proper name, but my overhead. My overhead, I have no overhead. So it's
Hmm.
just cost for me. The material for cost for material is nothing.
Yep.
Like I pick my t-shirts up anywhere from $2 to $5, depending on what the sizes are.
Yep.
And I already have all my graphic that I need, all my material. So the only expense I would be out is t-shirts.
Yeah.
So at the most, your $5 membership, that's gonna pay for your t-shirt anyway.
Hmm. For sure. And
That's
that's
what I thought about
it's like a
doing.
what a month thing. They pay for it each month, right?
Hmm.
It's just a one day. You're not gonna send them a shirt every single month. You're just gonna send them that for that
No, it'll be a one-time shirt.
initial thing, and you know, and also like I've always wanted to do like streams that are member only, and just
Yeah.
kind of hang out. But I feel like I mean, you might do it, but I feel like if I did that, like nobody would join. You know what I mean? Like nobody's gonna pay money to watch me. For you might do it, but that you're about the only one that would be up in the live stream, and you're already about the only one that's in the live stream anyway. So it's like,
Maybe if I link one of my other accounts over to my YouTube channel, I might get more followers.
okay, this guy. I might do that though. I'm thinking about doing that, but I'm thinking like for me, like $2, maybe just start out or something like that. I don't know,
Yeah,
something.
just like behind the scenes content and stuff, and random
Yeah.
live streams, stuff like that.
Um. Yeah, and I'm kind of down with what you were saying. Maybe send them a shirt or something like that, or a hat or something. Doing something for them
Yeah,
because they're paying
because like
money
I said, I
for you.
mean, you're in the same boat I am. You make your own merch,
Yep.
so like the merch, you can get the merch so cheap.
Yeah.
And like when I buy my bulk T-shirts, I buy my bulk T-shirts off Amazon, and I either get the Fruit of the Loom or the what is it, the Glidden ones.
Yeah.
That's
I always
two of
like
the main
Gil.
brands that I go with.
I like that
Just
brand.
because, well, the Fruit of the Loom usually shrinks, so I
Yeah.
usually go with the Glidden. But the Glidden, I can get those. I think I can get. Well, I had priced out for no name. I priced out 10, 10, and 10, and another roll of vinyl. And I think it was going to cost me like right at $140 for
Huh?
30 T-shirts and more vinyl. And that's
And you
enough
sell 'em
vinyl
for
to do all 30 T-shirts.
huh?
And then, I mean, you can do the math. If you sell that at $20 a T-shirt, you're going to be making a pretty big profit.
Yeah, you would because I've sold including you. I've sold three.
Yeah.
I've only shipped out one. Gecko hasn't got. He paid for his shirt, and he hasn't got one. I got your shirt because I was like, you'll pay when you can. It's whatever. And then when I see you, when you get it, you
And
pay for it.
honestly,
It's like,
I forgot about it until you started bringing it up more, and I was like, "Oh, he's got my shirt."
yeah, I've had it for. It's sitting right here in my box. Like, and Gecko, he I'm trying to think. asked for it the last time he wanted me to come work on that transmission on that Mustang, and
Yesterday.
I could no, he hasn't asked about it. Actually, he's been fun fact, he's actually been um opposite. You know, he always asks for it. Now I'm actually trying to get him to come take it out before I have to take it out myself.
I'll
And
come pick it up. No problem.
he's that's what I told him. I said I'm gonna give you. I told him I'm not talking bad about him or anything, but I told him I gave him a few weeks to take it out, and if it's still in there when we go to work on it, if you want it, you come get it. I'm serious.
Maybe
I
I
got it,
told you. I mean, I'd give you a little bit of money for it, and I'll take all the stuff out that I need.
because I'm not. If me or you or anybody else is having to take it out, like just to set it in the yard, I'm not gonna have it
Yep.
sitting in my yard. I'm not sitting it in a car that I'm hacking up. I'm not putting it in something that's not putting it in my barn. It's not taking up any more space than it already is. The only reason why
But
it's not taking up that much space right now is because it's in the car, you know. But once it has to come
to be
out,
fair,
it's
I want that motor too.
well, we'll work something out with that for sure.
I'll take motor and transmission,
We'll work something
and then
out.
you take body panels that you need. We'll fix your car with the body panels, and then you just scrap the shell.
That's
Make
true.
$180 off it or something like that.
So pretty much, I'd make my money back on the car just about because I'm 200 in the car. So
Exactly.
you know,
And all I need, all I want is the
about that
motor and
money.
transmission.
We can work something out. We can work
And we
something
can
out.
take every body panel off that car that you can sell and make money off of.
Yeah, because like
Stuff that
I
you
have
don't
a
use.
bunch of doors. The guy gave me 2 extra doors. I have 2 mint doors in my shed that he gave me with glass included. There's the
Yep.
whole door. He gave me that. Um, the side panels, the door panels are good in the car. But they're gray. Mine's black, so it mismatches.
I actually need to hit you up on something that I need desperately,
Oh Lord,
like pretty fast need.
what do you need?
You just reminded me.
When I
I
say
need
door panel,
the no, I need the bumper support, like the
the
metal part
bumper.
that bolts on.
Okay,
I need
yeah,
one of those,
okay.
and I need
Yeah, this car don't have a
the
bumper on it, so you can take it.
the the little crash spots that bolts onto on passenger and driver right underneath where the
Mhm.
headlights go.
Yep.
I need one of those. Those are welded on. They're tacked on. They can be
Okay.
busted off with a pry bar, but I need one of
We can,
those,
we can work
and I
something
need
out.
that metal.
For sure, because the bumper's not on it. I don't. I guess I'm not planning on if I even do hypothetically fix that car to make it a dune buggy or whatever. I'm not gonna put a bumper on it anyway. It's gonna be. I'm gonna weld a bar on the front of it. It's gonna be like it's gonna be a dune buggy.
Yeah,
I
just
mean,
put on
that's
a crash
what
bar.
it's gonna be. You know what I mean? But
This one that I'm
you
putting together. Like I tried to get a hold of this Mustang guy up here in Iuka to get parts
know.
for, and he wanted $150 for a steering wheel with the airbag. He wants $60 an airbag without steering wheel. So for passenger or driver, he wants 60. If I'm buying a steering wheel and airbag, he wants 150. This is not a special steering wheel. This is not a GT 500 or 300. Like this is a 2000 base model Mustang steering wheel
That's
that's used. Okay,
nah. It's like if it
and
has an
like I asked
airbag
for
in
that
it,
crash
like
bar. I was like, I need that crash bar that goes underneath the bumper, the support bar. He's like, well, if I got one, it'll be about $75. I'm like, no. Like I know, like there's not one up here in the junkyard, or I would already go get it for him.
mhm,
But like, if there's one in the junkyard, I can pick it up for like $30, easy.
yeah,
And that's like max. That's paying for my gas to go out there too.
yeah,
But I just don't have them around me in the junkyard.
yeah. I should
And
have.
like I
Yeah,
gave
if
him
it's
the
there,
option. I
man.
was like, I told him I was like, well, here's something else. I don't know if the splines are right. I got to check the splines on the Ranger and his Mustang, the steering wheel
Mhm,
splines, if they're the same, or if we can get an adapter for it, whatever. But my steering wheel and my Ranger's like mint. It's perfect. It's black. Airbag's good. The only thing it don't have is the little cruise control buttons on it,
mhm,
which can be adapted from his wheel to mine because it's the same style wheel, same steering wheel. The airbag's the same thing, everything.
mhm.
And like his steering wheel is just gunky. Like it's probably that thick, and it's
Yeah,
just like nasty crud on it.
for
And
sure.
so we're gonna put the steering wheel and the airbag too. And I told him I was like, well, if anything, you buy my adapter, I need to put my new steering wheel I already have on my truck, and I'll throw that one on there. This man done disappeared. Where did he go now? This man disappeared. I'm talking about left stream. We gonna run his streaming channel now.
I'm sorry about
There
that.
he is.
Sorry about that. Okay? So what were you saying? I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I couldn't hear any of that you said. I'm sorry.
Oh, so we got to replace the steering wheel and airbag anyway in his car.
Okay.
So I'm trying to look up for the steering wheel splines from the Ranger to his Mustang, to see if they're the same or if they'll adapt over or whatever. Since my steering wheel is mint, and I'm taking my steering wheel out because I have this Brad steering wheel I'm putting in the Ranger.
Yeah.
So like I told him, I was like, if you want to buy my $30 adapter for my truck, then I'll just give you my steering wheel and put my steering wheel in your truck in your car. And he was like, yeah, that'd be perfect if the splines will work. So I just need to I gotta find out if the splines fit. Because if the splines fit, then it'll be a win for him and a win for me.
Uh.
If not, I'll still be on the hunt for a steering wheel and airbag.
So it says that you can do an 83. Um. This kit specifically for these. I know yours is a little later model, but this is for these. You can do a. They make a adapter kit, wheel hub adapter kit for a 83 to 2004 Mustang and 89 to 92 Ranger.
I got 97,
Yeah, but I'm wondering
and it's a
because
2000.
I'm wondering. I mean, the steering wheel might be the same. It's a. You can find it on Amazon here.
That's the only thing I could really find in like the NHRA hub that's on Amazon for my Ranger is like almost $200. They have an off brand that's the same hub for like $30 on there
This is reversed. Okay, so this is putting a Mustang wheel in a
on
Ranger.
a
So
Ranger,
you need reversed the other way
which
around.
nobody does.
No, I mean, from a monetary standpoint, why would you? You know what I mean? But I get it. I
Exactly.
know. Um,
Yeah, like mine has no crud on it. Like it's mint. That's what I told him. I was like, I'll just swap them out if we can do it. If you want to, you can just spend the $30 and buy my adapter. That saves you a lot more money.
for sure.
Keeps your airbag and it gets you a new wheel.
Let me see real quick. Because you wouldn't be able to take, which I mean, I kind of need my steering wheel because I need to move my car around. And like I said, if I make a dune buggy out of this car, if I if I
Yeah.
if I don't care what the car looks like it's gonna be Mad Maxed, right? It's not gonna have doors on it. It's gonna have a full thing. And I'm thinking I wouldn't mind like going and finding just a cheap clamped out small block 302 and throwing in this truck
Hmm.
because me and we could make up some motor mounts real quick, like with you helping out, like if you wanted to help out with it. Not saying you have to, but we could like that would be no problem to make some. I mean, if we could make motor mounts, if y'all could sit there and make motor mounts for a Cushman to put a 440 in it, I feel like we could sit there and make motor mounts for a Mustang subframe to put a 302 in. Ain't
Brother,
no
I can put
problem.
anything in anything.
I'm thinking that and a manual transmission. That's that. I mean, because like I said, I want it to be mad maxed out because the hole, like the spots we cut out to fix the rust on my car, I'm just gonna take
Hmm.
license plates and just self tapper,
Patch everything
license
back
plate.
in.
Yeah, because it's gonna be like I said. I want it to be ratty. I want it to be Mad Max style. Like I want to put some big mud grips on it. Like not fat, but I
For
want to put
sure.
like 14-inch, 15-inch tires with mud grips on it, and kind of like with your Ranger tires. Like I want to put like your Ranger tires on it in a way, that style wheel or something like that. But with
Yeah.
all trains or something, make a push bar for it, make a freaking cage around the freaking body of it, so it's got like a full roll cage, something that you could put like extra tires on the. Like I want to make it like post-apocalyptic Mustang.
I'm
like
down
just
for it.
ratty, like because it's just gonna be a when I get done with it, it's just gonna be a body. It's just gonna be a. It's gonna. I mean, it's gonna have 4 wheel disc brakes. It's still gonna have the
And
4
you
wheel
have a
disc
title
brake.
for it, so it can be street legal.
Yeah, all I need is headlights, taillights, and blinkers. Well, I
Yep.
mean, you don't necessarily need blinkers. You could do the hand thing, but we're gonna put blinkers on. I want it to be nice. I want it to, and then we're gonna put
And,
12-inch
and
subwoofers
a
in the back.
license plate light.
That is true. Yeah,
You
that is
have to
true.
have the tag light. That's the one thing they'll pull you over for over anything is a tag light.
But I'm thinking, I think it would look pretty good, like
Oh, for sure.
post-apocalyptic, like Mad Max. Like we could cut the back out of it and just put like fuel tanks on the back of it, like Mad Max's Interceptor had on in the Road Warrior. I ain't gonna do all that. It's too much, but you know what I mean. Like I feel like mad, like post-apocalyptic, like make like some tube doors to put on it. Like so instead of having doors,
Oh
it's
yeah.
like tube doors, like what you find on a Jeep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, and of course I'd put I'll put some racing seats in it. You know, it'll have like the harnesses and everything, so I don't go flying out of the goddamn car. But other than that, it'll be just rad.
Finding the racing seat that you can fit in is going to be the struggle.
Well, I can find one that I can fit in, and again, we'll do this because
That's not
we'll
three
do it
hundred
with my.
dollars.
That is true. Well, well, hey, you know what? I can find a seat, and we could cut holes in the back of it and make it a racing seat. We'll pick it. What I need to do is I need to go find a cheap Amazon like gaming chair that's a racing seat and just take it off the thing and just bolt it to a seat. It's a racing seat, but it's a
Brother,
chair.
those are so janky. You don't
It's
want
got a
to do that.
pillow. It's got a pillow on the
Those are
back
so
of it.
janky. I had one and I thought about converting it because it actually had a lever on the side that laid the back and forth.
Oh
And I
god.
thought about it and I was like, this thing's made of wood. I'm not doing this. I'm gonna
But
hit
no,
one bump and it'll go
like
through the bottom of the seat.
my gray car, I've got an idea for that car. Like I'm not saying I want to make it a GT 500 or anything like that, but there's one I want to take the bumper, the front end off that car. You can go on American Muscle. It's a little expensive, but they make a GT 500 front end. You know, it has the wide
Yeah.
grill. I love that grill, but I don't want the snake on it. This one doesn't come with the snake on it because I'm not trying to imitate a GT 500. I just want that grill because it's more airflow, and plus it's a fat grill. I love that wide grill that they have on it. It reminds me of like a 70 model, 69 70 with that big, with the way it
Yeah.
humps over. Yeah.
Sure.
Do that and drive it for a little bit and just find a V8 for it. And then they'll go and like find a V8. But I've always thought about if I could find like a wreck GT 500, like with a supercharged 5.4, like 550 horsepower, I could just take it out and it'll because it's based off of S197, so it'll all
Yeah.
bolt right in. I could just, but see, then I got to worry about spending money on a wrecked GT 500. That's the only thing. Like it'll be a GT 500, but it won't be a
Like
GT.
I can get you the motor and trans and wire harness, ECU, all that stuff. But it's gonna be
That's
around
all.
5 grand.
Yeah. Which I mean, in a way, in all honesty, I would probably spend that much on a car anyway. I'd spend about 6 grand on a wrecked parts car because the reason why I was wanting to get a parts car is for one, you know, you got all the stuff to do it right, but for two,
Hmm.
the interior because the
Yeah.
first gen Coyotes, it's still off of S197 platform. So the dashboard, it's actually it has a much higher quality dash
Yeah.
and it's really well made. Mine's cheap made because it was early 2000s. Nothing was really well made in the early 2000s, late 90s. You know what I mean. But it's really cheap dash and it's cracked. So, but you can take that dash out and put the new dash and the steering wheel and the seats and the interior. All that stuff will bolt right in to that car, the my '06.
Yep.
So I can make if you pretty much it'll be like if you open the door on my '06. The only thing that it won't have is the doors. Well, no, it actually will
Yeah.
have the doors because the doors are the same, I think. But it'll have the door panels. I think you can change the door panels out. I think, but I'm not sure. But I know for a fact you can change the dash, the seats, the center console, and all that, the interior, all that stuff. You can take it out and put it right in. So technically speaking, when you open the door of my '06, it'll be like a 2013 Mustang inside, which is what I
Yeah.
really want because I love that interior that they had on those cars. But at the same time, I can always go to junkyard and find one. So the interior part, that's not the. I don't have to necessarily find a parts car. I can just make 5 or 6 different cars. But if I have the opportunity to get engine, transmission, wire harness to make the car run, like and just have the still have what the dash that I have, and I can replace all that stuff later, I would do that. Like that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I would I want to
That
do
and
because
it's easier just to have the whole parts car too,
yeah, I want
from
to make
experience.
that car a and some people are like, well, just put a 4.6 in it, but I'm like, if I'm doing an engine swap, I don't want to just gain freaking what 50 horsepower. Like I want to do something that's different. Not a lot of people have done a Coyote swap, and people have done it now, but compared to the 4.6s, people think it's a 4.6, but it's a 5 liter, or they'll think it's a 4.0 or something, or 4.6, and it'll be a GT500 motor. It'll be like
Yeah.
a 5.4 that's supercharged out of a '08 GT500. But you got to find a
See,
rig GT500. That's
that's why I
that's
need
not.
that motor out of that Mustang and that trans out of that Mustang because I'm gonna drop it in the Ranger.
Let me see something real quick. I
I'm gonna
think
build.
I think
I
that
will
we could put
build
you
it
on
and
that.
drop it.
Let me see. If we can get a hold of this car and like you help me fix the body on it, we get the motor running, get it pretty much running and driving like reliably. I'd like
Yeah.
to see if we can't fix the wiring on it. I don't know. I'm not saying you know a lot about wiring, but I'd like to see if we can't fix the freaking wire because it has the biggest problem. And I've told you this before. We've talked about it several times about it draws power. And
Yeah.
it's got a brand. I mean, the battery on it's not brand new anymore, but I've put a brand new battery on it, and it still does it. It refuses to.
Just
Uh,
have to backfeed and see where it's coming from.
yeah,
Well,
because
not
I put a
backfeed,
kill
but
switch
trace
on
the
it, and now
power.
the kill switch has done got because we've used it so many times. It's a cheap kill switch. It's one of those twist off like
Mm-hmm.
cables that you put on top of the battery post. We've done used it so many times that it's done gotten jank, so it doesn't hardly work anymore.
Yeah.
So, but it worked like it was as long as the battery isn't hooked up, it's not draining. But if the battery's connected, even if the key's not in it, whatever, it's still you can come out there and it'll draw power. And it's
But
just
believe it
dead.
or not, something I just seen on Temu. I was going through there looking, and they have an electronic battery disconnect. It comes with two key fob remotes. I
Hmm.
think it was like $12. I was like, holy crap, that would be kind of cool. But it's just like a little servo, and the wires go from that to your battery, and then you connect it back. Like it comes with the connectors and fittings and everything,
Uh huh.
and then it's got two key fobs. So you power it off the battery, and then it takes the power from it, and it's just got that little servo that just flips a switch in it and cuts power. It's
I
like
guess another
it's
thing would
pretty
be
cool.
good to check out would be the. I guess the alternator would be pretty good to check out. I guess I
Yeah.
never tested the alternator. I don't know because it might have enough to keep it running, but it's not necessarily charging the car. If that makes sense.
One of the first things that I would see is I would test your voltage and everything, test your power with the battery, and then I would take the battery off and test it and see if there's power holding somewhere.
Yeah,
Because if you got power holding somewhere, then you got to figure out where it is, and
I
like you
think
can trace back through like from alternator to battery terminal and
which
like all that
this is all
starter.
temporary. I mean, you know what I mean? Because once if I find a parts car, all the wiring is getting put into there. Right? So it's gonna have new
Yeah,
wiring or newer wiring. But I would like to fix it while I'm having to drive the car. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to have to sit there every time I get out of the car, pop the hood, and because what kills me about those cars is it doesn't kill me, but what makes it difficult to have that is the doors because the doors when you open them up, the windows roll down. They roll down like a
yeah,
quarter of an inch, so they don't break when you slam the door. So when you shut the door, they roll back up. Well, if the battery's disconnected,
they don't roll
you
back up.
shut the door. Well, they don't roll back up. But see, if you shut the door and disconnect the battery, that's all well and good. But if you say you forget your wallet in the car, so you go to open up the door doesn't roll. It doesn't roll down, so it'll open just fine. But when you go to close it, the window wants to get caught on the rubber piece, and it's so terrible. Like it's to the point. Like I said, when we get to fix it, when we go to work on that car, if you could help me fix the body on it, the body that needs what needs fixing,
Yeah.
the motor, and see if we can't figure out the wiring issue. If that transmission is still in there when that happens, if you want to grab it and the motor too, you know, if there's anything that I'd like to say, if there's a fuel injector or something that I need, let me get
Yeah.
that off of it. But if I don't need any of that, you
Well, it
can,
wouldn't be going straight from that car straight into the Ranger.
you
It
know,
would be going from there and then onto my engine stand over here
yeah. So you like I said,
because
you
I'm
you
gonna
grab it. and whatever you want with it. Because like I said, that's if you do all that, because like I said, once I get to where I can drive it, I can start worrying about okay the hood and stuff. That's like for the time being, I'm gonna put the little hood scoop hood on it, the GT hood on it. I'm gonna put the louvers on the back of it. I'm trying to find some wheels to put on it. If you can find me
Got you
some
some wheels.
wheels, you got them little bitty them for my Doom Buggy Mustang. Them for the Mad
No,
Max
you
Mustang. I'm talking about.
want a wide wheel? Because I got a wide wheel.
Yeah, I'd like a wide wheel.
I got a 12-inch wheel,
Good God, what kind of wheel? What does it look like?
front and rear, 12-inch. The back spacing on it is 3 inches,
Are you sure I'm able
barely
to turn
three
a
inches. Like
car?
it's like 2 and 375. It's like 3.75 back spacing.
What kind of wheels are they?
So all of the rest of the wheel is outside of the car.
Good Lord, what kind of
If
wheels
you can
are they?
imagine, you can
That's
imagine Dust Devil Garage's rear tires on
good
his
God.
Duster, how far they stick out. That's probably how far they'll stick out on your car.
And they're 5x4.5.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out what wheels are these.
I didn't take a picture of them when I had them out today because I went over there and I messed with them.
What do they look like?
I need to take a good picture of it to show you.
Are they like? Are
Because
they kind of like?
in a way they look like S10 wheels, but they're not. They're completely different,
They look like
and
S10 wheels.
they're almost like the saw blade, I guess you'd say. But I think they only have 3 holes in them, and
It
it actually
seems
has
like
grooves and stuff that come off of it. It's not big. It's not big teardrops that are cut through. Like they're small. I've never
12
seen
inch
another set
wide.
like these.
I need to see these.
Right now, there is the ones that are on it right now are 33 12 50 15s, and the tire sticks out as right to the edge of the rim.
Well, so what did they come off of?
I don't know what they come off of. I just got them.
When did you get these? So I mean, okay, so are they like
I've
they're
had them
like
for
truck
over.
wheels?
I've had them for over 2 years, 3 years. I've had them a while. They're just in storage.
I need to
I
see
put it
these.
next to the Ranger
If I can
today when I
see
was over
these,
there.
we might work something out. But I need to see them.
It's like I
That's what
have a picture of them, but the picture is garbage. Like it don't even look like them.
this man says. I got a picture of them, but they look garbage. But they're like saw blades.
They're similar to a saw blade, but they only have, I believe, they only have 3 of the little teardrops in there
So
instead of 4.
I'm sending you a picture right now, and I'm not saying these are the exact wheel, but do they sort of kind of resemble this right here in a way?
Where
Like
you
not
send
saying
that?
that's the exact style wheel. Facebook. I could have just shared the screen. This is a podcast, by the way,
You
but
could have.
I forgot.
No,
They don't look nothing like that.
no, that's like a center line.
So what do they look like as opposed to that?
These are deep dish. Like they don't go straight in and then straight up to the back. Like they're more concave,
Oh good
like
God,
bowl shaped.
I might see these. I'm serious. I want to see these.
I should have took a picture of it while I had it next to
Wait
the
a
Ranger
minute!
today.
Don't tell me there's these. Oh good God, I wish. Imagine if they were these wheels right now. They're not, but just imagine. This is the first when you said 3 blades. This is the first thing that popped.
No, no,
Imagine that on my Mustang, 12-inch wide
no,
wheel. Good God.
no, no, no. That's a motorcycle wheel.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna see these. We might work something out. I don't know because, like I said, I kind of want the gray car. I want to make it a nice, clean car. You know, the the black car. It's getting hacked up. It's gonna have. I'm gonna have do just skeleton tube frame around it on the outside of it. Just I'm
Right
thinking
now,
about
like
the
I said,
holes that I cut out.
these rims would stick out probably at least 3 inches outside of your body.
Okay, so what are they like? What kind of tires are on them right now? Like mud grips?
Yeah,
So like truck tires, essentially, is what they are, like truck tires.
yep. 33, 12, 50, 15s.
Now those,
like
I might
big
would like to get
tires.
those. I might would like to get those on the Mad Max Mustang.
But there's only one tire that's holding air, but I don't even trust that one.
Nah,
The
I
tire is gone.
put some slime in it. It's good. I'm just
The
no,
plan is to throw those rims on the Ranger for no name.
I want to see them, dude. I want to see what these. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't know
Like I said, I
a
mean, I
lot.
got the picture of them, but the picture does not. It don't show the detail of the actual rim. The rim has detail,
Well, you ought to send me the
and
picture. That
this
way, I got
picture
a
that
good
I
idea
have does
what they
not
look
show
like.
it.
I want to see what these things look like, dude.
Let me
Because you said
see.
they look like an S10 wheel, but they don't look like an S10 wheel. They kind of
Yeah, how
resemble it.
they're well, like the Ford Explorer wheels. They got like the 5 teardrops that spin around like a saw blade.
Yeah,
All right, so it's like 3 of those little teardrops that are in it, and then it has detail that comes around, but they're deep dish wheels.
I gotta see this. I can
They're,
send a
it's an
picture.
old, I believe they were old school American racing wheels. Believe it or not.
Could you some outlaw twos and put on you? I don't
Yeah, I
know.
put them
I
up
feel
next
like
to the Ranger today, and I can't even put it up underneath the Ranger. I was going to try to put one on there, and it won't fit because the wheel,
I went on there
the tire's
and
too big.
tried to find a.
But the back spacing is almost 3 inches.
I can imagine. I currently went on to you ever seen the movie Need for Speed um with the Mustang. The wheels that
Yep.
are on that car is like 22-inch 4G. I finally found they actually sell them still to this day. They're 4Giatos is what they are, but they're
Right.
cuz like they make them, and I found the wheel on the website. You want to know how much the thing's cost? Like I've not there. I think
Huh.
around like 8,500 for just the wheels. Between 8,500 and 12.
You're right back again.
He says, "Got to be right back, everybody." But we're working on getting the stuff fixed up. We're working on getting her fixed up. You know what I mean? We're working on getting her fixed up here, boy. Yeah, boy. But anyways, hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Like I said, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're watching still. We're just hanging out. We like to talk and just hang out for a little bit and see what's going on. I'm gonna have to go here in a second, but figured I'd let y'all guys know and holler at you. Figured I'd holler at you and see what was up. And but yeah, good old good old Engine Light Garage. Pretty cool dude. Pretty trash. Pretty cool dude though.
Pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. But
Let me see. All right. Let me see if I can do this.
let me see what he's doing. He's doing something, everybody. But we don't know
It's
what he's doing.
it don't show up good in this picture at all. This is the only picture I have of them.
Me 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 me
There.
me me me. I literally, as soon as you sent me this, I literally think I just seen him. Yep.
Now you can't see the detail of it that I was talking about, but like right here, this is embedded in there. Oh, you can kind of see it here. Like it spins off right here, comes around here, etched in. This one's etched in. This one right here is raised up. They're pretty detailed actually.
I literally, as soon as you sent me
I
this
haven't seen
picture,
another one like it.
I literally think they're American racing wheels actually, but these are like shiny.
I believe this what these are.
Like as soon as you sent me that picture, I seen this on the internet. Like the second you sent it to me.
It's very similar. See where the American racing wheel has one groove. This
Yeah,
one has one here and one here.
yeah.
So it has two. when the American racing wheel has like one that comes off,
Uh huh.
but it's very similar, right? Like right here, you can see those on that one, but this one
Mm-hmm.
has a kickoff here and a kickoff here that's embedded in there.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like this,
I
like I
don't
said, this
know.
is a very poor picture of them.
I'm looking
Like
for.
they're
I'd like to
dirty,
actually
everything.
find some.
But
I
this,
hate
I
to
put
say
these
it.
on my. If you look at this picture, you can see how far it sticks out.
Oh,
That was on my '89 Jeep.
good God.
Like it stuck out about 3.5 inches with
Gee,
no
oh,
spacers.
this guy right
But
here.
like they're, he said that's a 1250, 35 1250 rim
Mm-hmm.
or tire, and the edges of the tire up top where it squares off of the tread
Mm-hmm.
is just as wide as the rim. So the rim has to be a 12-inch rim.
Jesus.
It's gonna be
I don't
interesting
know.
to see what the because I haven't even looked at the back of them. I don't even know if they're stamped with
Like
the
this right here. I'll
everything
show
on them.
you these. This with my gray car, my gray Mustang. This is what I'm wanting to do with this car, and this is like not. I mean, this is a GT 500, but um, same grill, out the snake, and same wheels. I like these style wheels. This is what I'm going for, like the look of what I'm going for with this car. Something kind of simple. I feel like with those black, like I'm gonna leave the hood scoop. I'm gonna do like a design on the scoop and come out like
Yeah,
the hood scoop and do like come out straight out with it and make like a rounded coming back up to the hood. And I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna leave it black, and the rest of the hood's gonna be gray like the rest of the car. And then the every accent, so like the wing, I've got a low profile wing that the guy threw in with the car because the one I have
yeah,
on it's like one that's like raised up. I want to put that low profile on it. It's going to be painted black. The louvers are going to be painted black. The gas cap, I'm painting it black. The gas cap lid, I'm painting it black. Pretty much accent colors are black. It's going to be black
yeah.
and gray, black and gray. Uh,
My
but
accent
like the
colors are black.
yeah, I like that because it's not loud. Like it's not a loud color, and it
Mm-hmm.
looks good. Like gray, silvers, gray, and black go good together. They've
Like
always worked really
gunmetal,
good. Yeah, for sure.
gunmetal and gloss black.
Yeah. Um, but thinking something like that. Like I'm not too big on stripes, but I would like to do like not a full on stripe, but where the hood scoop is, at least for the time being while I have this hood, is at the hood scoop come like 3 inches or 2 or 3 inches out of the hood scoop in front of it, make like a rounded like circle, like
Yeah,
like that right there, and then kind of come back like angle it out a little bit, and then just come back all the way to the cowl, the grill, the windshield, pretty much, and just
you could
leave
always
it
do
black.
like the ghost stripes underneath the paint.
That's true.
Do like a
Because the
metallic
stickers,
gray.
it's got the stickers on. It's got the Mustang stickers, the black stickers on it right now. But of course, they're gonna have to come off because we're gonna have to cut that off. So I'm not gonna have half of a sticker. That piece is going to come off. So I might as well just take the whole sticker off and probably just going to have to repaint the whole car. You know what I mean? So I'm probably just gonna do like gunmetal because it's tungsten gray is what it is right now. It's tungsten gray car. Is
That
what the
is
color
green.
is. Green? No, it's tungsten gray.
That car looks like mint green. The one we're fixing.
It's tungsten gray.
You're sure?
I'll find it. I'll look here. I'll look up a color for you. It's tungsten,
Like I'm pretty sure that one that we're talking about fixing for you,
the gray one.
like the whole car, like your V6,
Yeah,
not
it's
the parts.
tungsten gray. This is it right here. I'm sending you a picture. This is not the exact same car, but this is actually the car. Like this is not the one of one car, but this is what the car like same wheels, tires, everything, same stripes on it, everything. This is actually the car. It's tungsten gray. If Facebook Messenger will load up, I could just show you here. Screw it.
You quit running your internet to a potato.
Well, I don't know. There we go. There it is. That's the same. I got the same wheels. the same sticker, the same. The only difference in this car and my car is the louvers on the back.
Yeah, I was pretty sure yours was like a mint green.
It's tungsten gray.
Is it
I
just
got that
dirty from
tungsten.
sitting underneath that tree?
Yeah, I mean it is like because this is what it looks like in the sunlight. This is what it looks like right here.
Yeah.
Like if it was clean in the sunlight, it's this and it's pretty gray. I like this gray. It's different, but I like
Yeah.
gunmetal gray. Like I really want a gunmetal gray because this is what my granddad wanted. He loved gunmetal gray because he actually, if I could find I wish I could find the paint code for the Highway Patrol, Mississippi Highway Patrol. I want that. I don't want to make it a Highway Patrol car, but I want that gray is the one of the prettiest grays I've ever seen in my life.
Just make it Highway Patrol.
Yeah, I want to do the purple and blue striped one on the side of it, and then put like an SJ inside of a yellow Mississippi logo on the door, so it looks like a Highway Patrol car. I'd get pulled over so fast.
You get pulled over every time you take it out the driveway,
Mississippi
waiting on you.
Highway Patrol. There was a guy one time. I'd like to see what kind of what color their car is. I mean, I'm sure you could look it up, but um, patrol cars. It's like a gun. It is like a gunmetal gray.
It's like a metallic or something.
It's like a one. It's not gunmetal gray. It's like a one off of one metal gray. You know what I mean? Like it's some. It's different.
Yeah. I want to say
But
it's
you
a
can't.
metallic.
It's so pretty though, dude. Like that car they have. I will tell you, Mississippi. The colors of their cars. That dark. That would look so good with black. If you put black wheels and black accents on it, that car would look so goddamn good, dude.
It would.
Their new Mustang. That thing looks mean, dude. That thing looks so good. It's such a pretty color.
I don't see it going out on the road though.
Was it?
I see them keeping it for shows and crap, parades.
Oh,
I
the
don't see.
S. Well, I don't know. I mean, because they had the freaking the old ones. They used to run the old Mustangs, the old
Yeah,
Fox body.
this is more of a show Mustang.
I don't know, man. It's they
And I
might
believe it
it's
or not, back in the day, Horn
it's
Lake Police Department
mhm,
used to have a hydraulic cop car.
hydraulic cop car. Oh,
Hmm.
the freaking. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it was an actual cop car
Well, I don't. I
on
was
hydraulics.
driving. I'd go to the doctor a couple months ago. We're driving down the interstate, right? And it's a Durango. It's a Highway Patrol Durango. He's running blue lights, and I'm like, I thought
Yeah,
he had somebody pulled over. Well, so we kind of got over in the other lane. We're going on the 55, and he's pulling a trailer. It's a Highway Patrol Durango pulling a car hauling trailer.
huh.
And you, if you could, if you could imagine a million vehicles that would have been on the back of this thing, you would have never guessed this. It was a '90s model, early '90s model S10 pickup truck, but it was painted like a Highway Patrol car, and it had the Mississippi. It was a Highway Patrol S10, and it had the light
Yeah,
bar on top of it and everything. And I was like, what is that? I was like, ain't nobody finna get caught up in no S10 pickup truck. Good God,
it's
dude.
part of their show stuff. Like they build show cars.
But I think
That's what I'm
I feel
saying. I
like
think that new Mustang is going to be a show car.
I don't know. I think they will take it to shows because I think that's gonna be like their flagship. But I mean, if you got to think of it, like Georgia, they have Florida has their Challengers. They drive the mess out of them. The Scat Pack Challengers, they have those and they use those.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like a
But
SSP. I
I
think
mean, it's not like a Hellcat or nothing.
yeah. I think truly that because a long time ago we had, this is before I was born, but there was SSP Mustangs, the Fox bodies that were in Mississippi that were driving around and around here. They would
Yeah.
drive them, and I think it might be one of those things where they have like say they have five of them, right? Not saying they have five, but say they get five of them. Your top five performing officers, your troopers of the year, they get to drive that car for the year. You know what I mean? Like that's what they used to do
Yeah.
back in the day. Like they would have like with the Challengers in Florida. The top performing officer trooper he gets to drive that car for a year, and that's his car for
Yeah.
the year, and he has to, and then they vote, and whoever gets voted, if he's like pretty much employee of the month or employee of the year, the next year he gets to keep driving it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like
Yeah.
you get the perks of being a good trooper. You know, you get to drive the Mustang because I mean, who doesn't want to drive the Mustang? I would take. I mean, you can't put people in the back of it, but I would love to drive a Mustang. I would dude, imagine you're driving down the road and you see a police chase, and the freaking car that's chasing whoever's in it is a 50 Mustang, and that's he's got them pipes open, just
I,
talking. So
I'm getting I'm getting off the road because I've seen Mustangs in public.
yeah,
That police
I don't
chase is
know.
going to end soon.
I don't know, man. They can drive. Them some guns,
I just don't see it being a. I don't see it being a work vehicle though. Like they filmed that huge promo with it and all that stuff
well,
out there
I
at
don't
the
know.
farm.
Like I said,
Like
I
I
think
feel
it's their
like it's going to
flagship.
be for show.
I think it's their flagship. Like it is for show. I will agree with you on that. But I think that
I think it's just
you'll
a
see it.
promotional vehicle.
I think you'll see it on like I'm not saying you're going to be driving up around South Haven, you know, on 55, and there's just going to be a 50. You're not, you know, but if you stay on the road long enough in the state of Mississippi, you might come across it in some way, shape, or form because it'll be their flagship vehicle because they've a bunch of people. They're not the only ones that have bought the new Mustangs. There has been so many. Georgia
No, there's
bought
been
one.
more.
Alabama bought one or two. You know, they're not saying they just bought one, but Mississippi got a hold of it. North Carolina, South Carolina got them. They're just because what's boiling down to is you got to think also there isn't really another option for a
No,
car to keep up with them because the Charger and Challenger are gone, the Camaro's leaving, the Mustang's the only one left, you know,
and
and they're probably trying to
I
get
don't
ahead of
think
the
any of
game.
them ever used Chevy. Really,
Ah,
you've always had the Fords. Really,
I've seen it wasn't a state patrol car, but I now a long time ago they've used some of the IROC Camaros, but that was back in a long time
yeah.
ago. And they've used a couple of Camaros, but they're not compared to Dodge and Ford. They don't really use a lot of Chevys unless it's a truck for a
Like for the
sheriff's department. Like
most part, I mean, it's always been Ford, and they pulled up when they got the new Dodges on. Like they did like the little Challenger or whatever. But for the most part, all they've ever had was really Ford.
yep. I guess
They've
the
had a
last time
couple of
really
random
Chevy.
vehicles, and I think the random ones are like seized. I guess you say
Well, I
like
think
they're
the
random vehicles
Chevys. I
they've had.
think the last time the Chevy was a real popular car was the Caprice
Yep.
Impala. You know, early 2000s, late 90s was that Caprice Impala. That was the last time really Chevy, other than a Silverado. You know, you have like sheriff's departments that run Silverados and stuff, but
Yeah.
other than that, this the what was it that it was a Caprice and that was the SS, but that wasn't like mainstream like what a Crown Vic was. I mean, you think police car, you think Crown Vic. You know, it's just
Oh yeah,
Crown
for
Vic
sure.
went away. They made a Taurus. They come back up with the Taurus, but the Taurus was even though it's a good car, it couldn't keep up. So they started using Chargers because Chargers had a V8 in them that were all wheel drive. Well, now the
Yep.
Chargers is really they're not gone, but the Hemi's gone, and it's going to be a little bit before they can get their hands on this new one. And it's two door. It's not even a four-door version. It's two door. So
Yeah.
you know, and that's I kind of feel like that's why they're going to use the Mustang. Not like maybe not as much as they are right this second. Like starting
See,
out, it probably is a show car. You know,
is that Mustang a two door though?
yeah.
So they can't use it for as far as commute
Well, they
or
like
work
the
wise.
ones in the
They can't
'90s.
fit
What they
nobody
were
in it.
for was they were for. Well, that's the thing. So you have that's why you have people in Ford Explorers and Dodge Durangos because it's not to take people to jail. What it's for it's to stop speeders. So
Yeah.
it's your average speeder. I'm not saying some dude in a cammed out Corvette. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about like your average woman in a Nissan Sentra. You know, flying in the road, turning around from the comps. It's made to intercept. It's a SSP special service
Yeah.
pursuit. So it's you know it's that's what it's made to do. So therefore, it's like you know they get them stopped. Use and 9 times out of 10, especially in today, it's not one state trooper chasing somebody. You know, there's always going to be 3 or 4 en route. You know what I mean? So by the time they get this person stopped, there are going to be other ones that are coming right behind him that they can throw in the back of a
Yeah.
Ford Explorer or Durango or a Charger, even. But that's what these cars are for. They're not made to. A lot of people think that a lot of people are like, well, you can't put anything in the back of them. But I'm like, well, they're made to to stop people. They're not made to take them to jail. So
Yeah.
that's what
Pursuit vehicles.
yeah, that's their whole purpose is a pursuit
The
vehicle.
problem is they don't get more than one or say five. and you can't patrol big areas like that with
That
just
is
a few
true.
cars.
That is true. And plus, what you got to think too, you don't
You
see a
gonna get
lot of
in a
state troopers
chase,
nowadays.
and
You know
like
what I mean?
once you get in a chase, you're gonna have somebody they're gonna be trying to radio in, trying to get them over from the next county.
Yep.
By that time, you done outran all those little pity cars they have.
Yep. I think as of right now, like right this second, I think it's more used as a you're gonna see it like police shows and stuff like that. Like obviously show it off
Yeah,
at your flag
promotional right now.
vehicle, show it off. But I think with the way vehicles are going, because a lot of police departments don't want electric vehicles. They don't want hybrids because they're not reliable. Because
No,
especially if you're patrolling the side of the interstate, especially in Mississippi, rural Mississippi, how many charging ports do you get? Besides not saying Jackson, not saying South Haven, not saying Biloxi, 90% of Mississippi that a state trooper patrols is not gonna you're not gonna have
yeah,
access to those charging points, especially you're there for 2 3 hours. You're there for a quarter of your shift. Whereas you pull up in a in
exactly.
a, in a combustion engine car, you're there 30 seconds pumping gas, and you're back on the road. They don't want those.
Yep.
Like now, there's some agencies that want them, but for the most part, I think that's why they went with the Mustang
Well,
is because
they're not pursuit vehicles.
yeah, I think that's one reason
Like
why
the
they
ones
went
that
with the
they do have,
Mustang.
the electric vehicles they do have are not pursuit vehicles.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that's why they went with it because, like I said, the Charger is going to be a hybrid and electric.
Yeah.
Challenger's gone. The Camaro's gone. The only option you have is, as far as a pursuit vehicle, is the Mustang. It's
Yeah.
because I mean a Ford Explorer is a fast car, but and it's a quick car, but they're not tuned like, and they're tuned up, but they're not running somebody like in a Hellcat, or they're not running somebody. I mean, you can take one of those because really and truthfully, who's to say that they don't just slap a freaking supercharger on one of those Mustangs and make over
Yep.
700 horsepower? You know what I mean? Who's to say that they don't do that? They might have that picture that it got leaked. That might have been just in the shop. We don't know what. It might have a Roush supercharger up under it or something. They might have them some guns got ain't talking at 700 something
Right.
horsepower. You know what I mean? Like you don't know. But I think as of right now, I think it's more of a publicity because, like I said, show it off. Of course, it's your flagship vehicle,
Yeah.
but
It's just the promo vehicle right now.
I think as time moves on, I think it will, if, especially with the way things are looking, I think it will 100% be more in use. Because I think too, you don't have a lot of state troopers. There's not a lot of them anymore. Mississippi's had a
No,
shortage of
there's
state
really
troopers
none.
for the last like 20 years. You know what I mean? It's like that you could drive all day and not see a state trooper. You know what I mean? The only time you'll see one is like around a holiday. You'll see one like Labor Day. People are getting drunk, they're doing roadblocks. You'll see them, but on a normal day,
Unless you live in my
you might
area.
run into yeah, you might run into one.
You live in my
And
area. That's all we have mainly.
I live like 20 minutes from the highway patrol office, and I don't see them. And I'm right here in their area that their one of their main offices is. I don't see them, you know, unless there's, like I said, a
We got
wreck or
the
you know,
M dot office is down there,
yeah, for
and
sure.
I'm less than an hour from their headquarters.
Hmm.
I mean, we see more highway patrol here than we do regular officers,
Yeah.
and that's mainly because it's a small town. So we got our city officers, and our jail is a county jail that's here. So we've
Hmm.
got way more highway patrol officers coming through here than anything.
For sure.
On a daily basis, you're driving through town, going back and forth town, doing stuff, and you'll probably see five or six.
Yep. 100%.
Same
But
cop car. It'll be sitting in the same
yeah.
place, right there where that overpass is, where we made the noise. They sit right
Yeah.
off to the side, right there.
Jesus. But
That's
yeah,
their hiding spot.
I think we've been live. We've been doing this thing for an hour and a half. I think that's gonna be all for today. I gotta go. I gotta get my brother from school. It's his first day of school, so I gotta go pick him up. I didn't even
First
know
day
that.
of school.
Yeah, they have a different thing than we do. So they don't, like when I was in school, we went back in like August. We got out
Yeah,
like early May. They get out like the very end of May and they go back mid July. But they get a lot more days off than we did during the school year. Like they instead of getting a week off for spring break, they get like 3.
Yeah.
Instead of getting a week off for Thanksgiving, they pretty much you know how like I would go to school, I get off for a week for Thanksgiving, then I got off for 2 weeks for Christmas. They get out for Thanksgiving and they don't go back until after New Year's. Like they don't go back until after the years started back. Like they don't.
Man.
It's just yeah. So they get a lot more time off than we did. But
They're
plus,
like
like I said, it's
mine.
the
They
classroom.
don't go back. They got like 2 weeks, I think, till they go back.
Yeah, that's about what I would do. I go back like August 8th, something like that. It'd be like something early August, but they go back like they just
Yeah.
started today. So and a
Like
lot
my
of people's
oldest,
like,
she's at band camp,
oh yeah,
so I take her and pick her up every day. So she goes back and forth. Registration was yesterday and today.
hmm.
I got to do that today too.
I take him to the open house just the other day. I had to go up there in the new F-150. Or just walking in the way like kids. Like I remember when I was. I'm not saying I'm old or anything, but I remember it was like times have changed. Even when I was like in high school, like we would get out the way for somebody. You know, your car, you get out the way.
Yeah.
These folks don't even care. They're just walking down the road. I'm like, I wish I was in my. I was like, I wish I was in my other truck with them loud
No,
pipes. I just
these kids nowadays, they don't move.
nope.
And around here, anytime I drive around here and the kids are on the sidewalk, either like if it's little kids and it's a loud vehicle that I'm in, which
Mhm.
everything I drive is loud, but like they'll be out on the sidewalk or something and they want to race. You can see them, they'll turn and they'll get ready to run. And then as soon as I get close to them, they'll take off running. Like I'll drop it to first gear, whoa, let them win and stuff, you know. And
Yeah,
then other kids, they're sitting out there just like,
yeah, I'm good.
if they're doing that, I'm like, no. Like I'll drop neutral. I'll neutral drop, just sit there neutral and coast past them. It's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh
My little
Jesus.
neighbor's right up the street. We used to live beside them before we moved out here. And every
Oh
time I pass there and they're outside, he's out there. He's like, boom, like, no, no, don't do that to me. Now, if you do
Jesus.
this, I'll light it up. I'll neutral drop right here in the freaking street. He's like, well, what's this mean? I was like, it means roasted tires. He's like, oh, really? So now when I come past there, he's like,
Jesus.
I've got so many black marks up there in front of his house. I'll be
Golly.
coming down the road doing like 30 or something. And I'll sit there and I'll drop it down in first. I'll rev my clutch up and just drop it right there. Just smoke it right past him.
Jesus.
I'm waiting to get in trouble.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna go and get him. But I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Like I said, we're gonna have more episodes, more stuff to talk about
Yep,
as time goes on. We're gonna get more set schedule. You'll probably see this a day, a couple hours after the live stream over on Spotify, and the video will come up. You guys can watch that. I gotta wait for it to process the video before I can take that. So it'll be a little bit. It's not directly as soon as I get done over here. But with that being said, I'm gonna hop over here because I gotta go get my brother. But hopefully you guys enjoy the podcast. Make sure to subscribe to Engine Like Rise. Make sure to subscribe to me. Get us to 500 so we can go race each other at the No Name Nationals.
definitely.
And with that being said, I will catch you guys later. Peace.